Chat's working now. Now, I thought to myself, with all the CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, AEW rumors, stuff like that. I mean, when I first when I first saw AEW, they said that they were more sports based. They were gonna wins and losses matter, and the records are gonna mean something. And in the end, all that stuff is bullshit because they claim they have an AEW ranking system, and they promoted pretty well in the show the AEW rankings. But at the same time, why don't they actually matter? Because you can just go on Dark or Elevation and pad your record with some squash matches against jabronis, nobodies, whatever you want to call them, and then that's good enough. So that's weird to me that you can just do something like that and that's good enough for them. So like, and the other thing is like, the records on screen. They have the records for like everybody on screen, no matter who you are, which is great. But it's like a blurb, and that all three commentators ignore the record, like 0-1, 0-14, stuff like that. And the losses of some people don't even matter at all. You could be like 0-20, and it means nothing. Instead of just making like a dire situation of someone who has a low record, you ignore it completely and you just go back to business as usual. So that's weird to me. I never understood why their records and win losses mean absolutely nothing in AEW. The other thing is like, okay, so in WWE, more often than not, they'll have someone be distracted by something and then into a roll up or DQ cheap finish. They'll usually do that. But in AEW, I gotta say, every show has some stupid distraction referee thing. The referee will be like, "Oh, look, shiny over there." The referee will be look that way, and there'll be some shenanigans happening behind their back. So instead of knocking the referee down or hitting the referee in some way, you have to be distracted by like one of the million members of a stable. AEW has too many factions, and WWE has too little factions. There's got to be a good middle ground in between. Like NJPW is a good amount there. I think NJPW has 5 factions. They have Chaos. They have the Bullet Club. They have Suzuki Gun. I think they have one more I'm forgetting about. Oh yeah, Ninthos faction, Los Ingobernables de Japón, and maybe one other one. They don't have that many. They don't have that many factions in there, which is good that they keep it under control, and it's for a reason and purpose. But in AEW, their factions are done for mainly distraction reasons. You're part of a faction. Let's just say Matt Hardy's brand. If you're Angelico, if you're Jack Evans, you can guarantee in their master match, someone from Private Party will be distracting referee or going on the other side and hitting like the rest in the ring and then go for a cheap roll up there. You can count your damn dollar. That shit's going to happen. Every freaking, I think even in Dark is the same thing. Some faction member comes out there, another member comes out, distraction, hit somebody, and on Dynamite it's the same thing over and again. Distraction. It's so much. It's literally so many distractions on the show. And now I can't really take the matches seriously because there's like a cue in my head when I know there's going to be no. Well, the main one was with this week Moxley versus Archer. No distractions. You know why? Because Moxley doesn't really hang out with anybody now. Eddie Kingston is doing his own faction thing. Moxley has no one. Archer has no one to like distract and everything like that. It was going to be a good, clean Hoss fight, and that's what I liked about that match. So like, and then when you get Jungle Boy or whatever in there, he's like he has his Lucha pals and stuff like in there. You see Kenny Omega. You can bet like 9 out of 10 times in the Kenny Omega match, one of his 5 billion elite members, either the Good Brothers or the Young Bucks, will interfere in his match. It's like clockwork. It's guaranteed to happen. So that's a huge issue in AEW. So many fucking distractions. I mean, like, and then like, in case you didn't know, when when AEW had their Dynamite episode this past week, the referee, I believe it was Aubrey Edwards, she was distracted for at least 1 minute. There was someone distracting her. I forget who it was, like Semi Guevara maybe, or no, it was an old guy, Tully Blanchard, distracting her, and her back was turned. Oh, it was during the whole Jericho and Chairman match or whatever. Tully Blanchard was on the apron, and she refused to look behind her, even when someone's tapping the ground. She was distracted for so long. I was rolling my eyes so fucking hard at how bad that was booked. It's one thing for a spot to be unbelievable, but for the referee's integrity to be stupid, and not just once, it happened again later on in the show. I'm like, the referee was distracted, same exact spots, the left hand side of the screen, near the ropes there, same exact thing, not middle, not right, not toward the camera, left, always left over there near the entranceway. I'm like, every single time it's the same way with the same. I'm like, the same thing's gonna happen next week and the week after that. I'm like, in WWE and Impact and Ring of Honor, I'm not gonna worry about that nonsense. Why are AEW referees distracted so much? They disrespect the sports of wrestling per se by having the referees look so incompetent. It's one thing for a referee to mistakenly get knocked down in the middle of a heated match, but it's another thing for a referee to blatantly ignore the actual competitors to focus on the stuff on the outside. It's one thing to say, get down or you'll be disqualified. And it's another thing to stay right there for a whole minute while shenanigans are happening right behind you. All right, that's it for now. Mic off.